and then he's long PLTR.
He's long PLTR, so not Peloton, but Palantir. PLTR. Damn, bro, he's shorting on the one of the worst days to be shorting, bro.
Are you sharing your screen?
Oh, I'm not sharing it here, but I'll share it real quick. There you go. So, all right. I was also, even though I was sick yesterday, I was able to acquire those DE puts, and
Yeah,
then
go over that too.
yeah, we'll go over all of that. DE and so let's go over USD and MXN. I just closed those out at the target. Straight bounce from there. So just taking this away. Obviously, USD MXN had this long-term channel that we had already seen beforehand, right? That it was
Oh
like
yeah, yep.
it was in this channel, all right? So it hit the top. We were already looking like we were gonna go down. The thing that was determining me before entering anything was this price here. So if we were to break under this recent low, then that to me was a guarantee that we already are rejecting this zone up here and that we're going to flush down, or not flush but make our way down to the next area, to the next channel down, right? So I entered shorts the second that we broke under for long term because these don't really expire, right? You can hold these for as long as you want, and I let that ride it all the way down to my first fib target, which is 1982. And as soon as we tap that, that's my first take profit zone. I took profit at that area and I was done with that. Technically, I could hold this all the way down to the next channel, but I was just taking profit there at that 82 zone. You could leave
That's a good
runners.
level.
You can leave runners here and let the rest go down and
Hmm.
make you an extra few bucks. Or if it starts to break above that 94 area, you can just close for the rest of the profits and be done. Enter on a buyback whenever it's ripping back up or something. But yeah, that's all I did. I just used its recent low as to confirm price. As soon as we break that recent price action, we have no support being held here, and that's what caused the flush to go down. DE DE is different because it's obviously this is a stock, but so yesterday I was looking at DE at about 314. It moved up to 320. On Wednesday, I had signaled to you guys that I was going to enter DE. The 280 puts, the 275 puts, and the 270 puts were the ones that I had signaled for you guys to look at because those were the cheaper contracts. I entered the 270 puts, not so ended up being just for the strike out just to be cheaper. Um, but DE is a pretty expensive company, so if even if I'm not buying the strike, those are gonna move. So let me bring up the Dell DE on the Telegram. The first options chain that I had posted. Um, I don't know if you can see it if you
On
scroll
the
it up.
Telegram.
Yeah, so I had signaled that I was gonna enter these to be specific, the 280 put, the 275 put, and the 270 put, right? At the time on Wednesday that I had signaled the 280 puts, the 280 puts were trading at $1.53, which is $153. The reason it's $153 is because you get the right to move 100 shares of that stock without having to buy the stock. So it's kind of like you get to borrow those 100 shares of the stock for that for the moment that these contracts expire. So the contracts that I was looking at expired July 8th, and they were for the strike of 280, 275, and 270, meaning that I was expecting DE to fall down to those price points by July 8th. Since yesterday, the stock ended up falling to 294, in one single day, those contracts spiked up 185% in a day. So they went from being $153 to being up to $478 just because it fell so much so quickly, and those caused those options to spike up in price. Right now, they'll probably be going back up now, or probably trading around the same price that I had entered on Wednesday, just because it's up now 4%. But if you would have just entered on the morning on Thursday, you would have caught a nice 180%. But this is just how the options world works: is that you have to buy time so that the stock can move in that direction. And since the stock moved in the direction that I was looking for, it wasn't to the specific price point, but it moved significantly towards the way down, and that caused those options to jump in price. I'm not sure if you like fully understand that.
Somewhat. Are you still in the holding that contract, or did you
No,
opt out already?
I'm already. I took profit for 50
Okay.
something percent, and then I ended up entering Exxon Mobil puts yesterday around here, 88, and I caught this whole flush down. I made like 200%, and then I was done for the day. And now that Exxon Mobil is bouncing back up to this 20 SMA, I am reloading Exxon Mobil puts right now because I'm looking for some of this action right here. 20 SMA rejection, and we get more flush down,
Now, if the oil market
so we can fill this weekly gap.
if the oil market continues up, would that push that up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was looking at WTI this morning,
Mhm.
or what's the other one? I forgot.
WTI
Just
is
WTI. Yeah, it's
yeah.
pushing up.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
like it's starting to make a higher high.
yeah, it's pushing up just because it's breaking this the 30 SMA. But I'm gonna go based off of XLE and not oil. And until we break this 30 SMA on the 2 hour, then I will start closing out my Exxon position.
And you're in it already, you said?
Yes,
And
I'm in it
where
using,
does
huh?
where does price have to stay below in order for you to execute your contract? I don't even know if I'm using the right language.
I'm entering. Okay, so I entered because it's up. It's up 2 and something% today, which is way more than it was down
Yeah, but
yesterday.
you're selling, right?
Yeah,
A
I'm
put,
shorting,
right?
but
Yeah.
a time that you would want to be buying puts is the time the market's green, not when the stock is
Yeah.
down 3%, right?
Oh, I
So
thought you said you got in yesterday
yes, I got in yesterday. I made 200%. I
on
sold,
that.
so I
Yeah.
sold yesterday.
Uh-huh.
Now ExxonMobil is up 2%, so I'm reloading the exact same position that I bought yesterday,
So you're
at a
adding to
at
you're
a
adding positions.
no. I already closed my entire position out yesterday.
Oh,
Reloading is just rebuying the position, not adding. I'm just buying the exact same position again. Because
buying, but you
if I
mean
was
selling though.
well, not necessarily because I am buying a put option. For
But a
in your case,
put means that you're expecting it to sell off, right?
yes, I'm betting that the stock's gonna go down, but I'm
Yes.
not necessarily like selling the put or selling anything. I'm buying a put. So if like for USD, obviously I had to sell the USD, right, for it to go down. And for me to make money if it went down, it's not the same in the options world. You have to buy a put if you're betting it's going to go down, and you would have to buy a call option if you were betting the
Yeah, I
stock would
know.
go up.
Like when you say put, I think of sell.
Right.
When you say call, I'm thinking you're buying it.
Right,
Like
yeah, I
it's
get the
going up,
lingo. I
it's
get
going
the
down.
lingo mixed
Yeah.
up too. I go on USD and be like, I gotta
Yep.
buy
Yep.
calls. But yeah, so breaking above that 20 SMA is gonna be like a iffy-ish area, and above the 30 SMA will be a 100% confirmed that we're already rejecting. I mean, rebounding and going back up, and that'll cause
Yeah.
me to close my position for a small loss and then just move on to the next thing. But if we do get what I'm looking for and get that flush down, I can get some nice movement back down, and it'll end up filling this weekly gap, or sorry, Exxon's 2 week gap. But I'm looking at Exxon's weekly gap, so it will end up filling this weekly gap down to 80, and I can close the positions out again for another 200% and be done. Um, but that's just what I'm looking for Exxon
Yeah.
long term.
I got you.
They don't expire till July 8th, so they got time.
Fundamentally, I'm bullish. I'm a buyer on oil. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I don't know if this is the time to get in or not. I want to, like I said, I want to see a higher high,
Mm-hmm.
let it close above that, right?
Yep.
And then let it pull back a little bit and then try to jump in.
Yeah. And then Dixie's just having a consolidation of its life, bro.
Yeah, see it.
So yeah, we're just waiting on the Dixie. What are we gonna do here? Based on the daily, it looks like we can get a flush down to 103.16 before we get any movement up. Like we have to tap that 30 SMA just to get moving up. Also, USD MXN had the exact same setup here. Around this price point was where you sent me that video where that guy was expecting like a movement up, which I was
Yep.
also seeing that too. Like if we were to bounce off of that 14 SMA, we would have got that movement that that guy was telling. That
Yeah,
video you
yeah.
sent me, but I was
Yep.
like, I'm gonna wait because if we break that 14 SMA, then we will gap this down and we will touch
Yeah.
that 19 area, which is what happened. But that's how Dixie is looking, and that's why I'm a little iffy on Dixie that we can still get that gap down to 103 before we get the big gap up
Yep.
on Dixie. So yeah, that's why I'm on a little iffy on Dixie. And then I was also looking at some Disney puts, so long term, just because oh actually we're bouncing, so I'm not gonna enter anything yet. But yeah, this 93.37 seems to be like a really good support area. So if we end up breaking this 93.37, I will then buy puts to that 79.17 for a nice double bottom action. I feel like we have to retest those zones for Disney, but right now it looks like we're having some trend back up. So I'll wait until we get to the 20 SMA, see if we can get some of this action.
Yeah, I think it's going down to 79.
Yeah, me too. But right now it's gonna have that
Yeah,
push
yeah,
up.
it's gonna push up before
Yeah.
it
Mm-hmm.
sells off again.
Yeah. Exactly. And then
And then
Dow.
that's when we could probably see the Dixie
Yep.
fucking make its way up too.
Mm-hmm. Carvana. Carvana. I like Carvana's charts. It's just I don't like the stock. No, I don't want to trade it. I don't want to trade it. DPZ has a beautiful weekly gap to $424. Like I want to buy options in that too. I just don't want to be. These are really expensive. Like really expensive.
Oh, Domino's Pizza. Yeah.
Yeah. EXC's down. Damn. Let's look at XOU. XOU's up. Utility sector. Yeah. I wouldn't be buying here either. Yeah, so the reason I'm still holding XOM is because I'm just like the entire market's up right now. I'm not gonna sell based on the market being up. I want to get that rejection off of there. I can be Dunzo. Dunzo ones. Are you guys in anything, or did you trade
I
anything?
closed out my trades. I bought the yen. I bought the yen, so I was selling GJ, EJ. I took like a basket full of yen pairs. I closed out for like a profit of 150 bucks.
Nice. What was the
And then
what was you guys looking at? Danish kron? What is that?
it's I really don't look at it. That's Golden Nutsack. He looks at that.
Yeah.
Uh, it's the the crone. What is the crone? Danish or fuck? I forgot.
Yeah, Danish
I don't know. I
krone.
really don't fuck with it. He likes to look at it, and I just give him my opinion.
What the fuck? Is it USD krone?
Um,
No idea. He doesn't have a watermark
uh,
on the back of his thing, so I wouldn't be able to know. Oh, it's right there at the bottom. USD DKK.
Yeah, it's fucking choppy.
Yeah, it's choppy, but ain't ugly. Under 14 SMA shows us 699, and then breaking 699 gives us that full 30 gap back to 690. But we could get some of this action where it touches that 20 SMA and then get a nice bounce back up.
He showed the day chart, and I kind of saw like a inverse head and shoulder, like a cup forming, right? Like a
Yeah, I see this
cup and
cup.
handle.
I see this cup and handle forming.
Yeah.
But we could get that off of that 30 SMA bounce, and especially with this 20 SMA just cupping like that,
Yep.
showing strength. You know, it can
Uh huh.
it can carry that momentum upwards. So um, yeah, it's a little iffy on that one. I'll stick to my USD Mexican. Oh, this is about a tumble too. This is a glizzy right here. I would buy just to. Nah, that's not even a lot of movement. Well, I guess in the forex world, that's a lot of movement, right?
Yep.
From here to here.
Yep.
Yeah, we can get that for sure, and then bounce just to retest those levels, you know. And look at
Mm-hmm.
that glizzy on the 2 day. Just telling you where we're going next, right there. But yeah, I'm glad I entered my XLE puts today because it's a green day today. It's the best day to be in puts. What else were we looking
Yeah,
at?
I need to get more familiar with it so I can start taking trades with you.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. Um,
I
I'm
just hate to just because someone tells me that, you know what I mean. I want to understand before I
mm-hmm.
start.
No, yeah, 100%, bro. Like I want to be, I would want to know why I'm in the position too. Like why am I in this exact reason? And then you can learn it too, bro. The options world, very,
Yeah, no.
it's very fun. Or if you feel like you find like a stock that has like a certain technical analysis that you think is gonna break out or something, you can test your thesis on like just looking at the options and writing down what the option price is, um, and then as the stock follows your TA, come back and look at that option and see like how the option performed as the stock moved in the direction that you hope for, and like should I be trading the options in this company? Because you'll notice that eventually like not every company's options pay well because there's not a lot of volume in them. You know what I mean? So like a company like DE, the Deere company, very well known and very well established. It has a lot of volume, a lot of people always buying in it, a lot of people shorting it or selling it in general. So you'll have a lot of movement in those options. But if there's no movement in those options, regardless if the stock follows your TA and it goes down, those options won't move, or you won't be able to sell them for a good price that you want them to because there's no one in there to exchange those off of your hands. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Makes sense.
if you have any questions like that, you can for sure let me know. Like, hey, is this option good or is this stock good? We can do some reviews. We can do some reviews. This is actually a bullish setup here. This like triangle. So I would wait for a breakup above 3951, but it's also a good short setup if it breaks under that 14 SMA. Like you got an easy fill the gap or break it back down to 37. So 37 puts or 40 calls. But we'll see. I have that. I'll just have it tagged. I'll come look at it later. Costco daily 2 day inside the gap. That's what I was looking at yesterday too. 510. I believe Costco also has some very expensive contracts. We can take a quick look. Five ten calls for. Oh, actually, they're not. All right. I'm going to take Costco 510 calls for next week at 45 cents. So that means I'm buying them for $45. They're just trading at 45 cents on the market, but I still have to Remember, I still have to trade. I'm still gonna get an option to trade. I mean, I'm still gonna get the right to move 100 shares of that company, so I'm still have to pay the $45.
You're buying it up to the 30, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm buying that gap
Gotcha.
just because we're above
Yep.
20 SMA, so showing me that we're pretty strong here.
I I put I put the 14, 20, and 30
Yeah. No. Yeah.
on my
You
charts
use
just
them,
so
bro.
I can
You know,
start
like.
getting. Yeah, I want to start getting familiar with them.
Mm-hmm. That's what I mean. Like, use them with your pairs. Use them with your
Yep.
stocks, and then like see how they work, see how the gaps work, and see how eventually you like over time. That's just how I guess I just adapted to them. Like, learning how like stocks find like support inside the 20 SMA. You'll tend to see that a lot with the 20 SMA and with the gaps. So then you like start to like put it all together, and hopefully you see that too. What else were we looking at? I have
I think my
everything.
only issue I'm having is how you jump around from the 2 day, 3 day, four, like a week.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to use a three
No,
day,
it's
four
just
day.
like because each one gives you a different view, right?
Yeah, but I'm always like, if I'm like already looking at the stock and I'm thinking it's bullish, I'm already looking at every single day frame, looking for why it's bullish too. Until I find something that tells me like, okay, it was bullish until this 4 day came up, and then like it looks different. So I look at all of them just for the safety and the way, because sometimes there's a gap on the 4 day, and on the 3 day it's already complete, so you can think that the whole trade is done, but the 4 day is still telling you that we have some more room to go. That's just the reason why I use them, because I like to get that extra feel. Like, are we completely done filling the gap, or are we like almost there? I want to know if we're all the way there or if we're not. Lucid. Damn, bro, Lucid's at $19. Oh, shit. At least it's not an IPO. Triple M. Jesus Christ. Yeah. These XLI stocks are falling. This is also a DE stock too. MO. Cigarettes are at all-time lows. Should be pretty cheap right now, guys.
Yeah, because everyone's vaping.
Yeah. Well, they're banning that shit now, right? The jewels.
Oh yeah, I did hear something about that. Yeah,
Yeah, they're banning the jewels.
yeah, but that's just one out of fucking thousands of other
I,
things.
I know, right? Like, that ain't gonna do nothing. I don't even think people use the jewels specifically, right? Like, people be using all these other random brand shit.
And I'm sure like Jules is owned by a company that has fucking probably another 100 fucking different
Right, right.
brand names.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, for real though. You said that guy was shorting PLTR too?
Yeah. No, he bought it.
Oh, he bought it? Okay.
He bought that one. Yeah.
Yeah, this stock became a penny stock. PLTR, and I believe what's his name's company? Jeff Bezos is Virgin Galactic Space. Yeah, $6. Jesus Christ, that sucks. Sucks for that guy.
what was the all time high on that?
The space hit a high of 62, and then it skyrocketed again to 57, and then we ended up plummeting all the way back down. I think this is around the time they were like Jeff Bezos was going to like the not to the moon, but like flying in his spaceship in the around the Earth or whatever. Do you remember when that was happening?
Yep.
I believe that's what that was, and then just fell. Nobody cared. Target. Uh-oh. Are we breaking out? Damn. We can get a nice
Yeah.
little.
So I heard some news on Target too, talking about that they're getting rid of a bunch of their overstock.
Target's most downgraded stock. It's hella like oversold right now. U.S.
Yeah, that
retailers cut prices by service, keep inflation as top U.S.
like they're cutting back on a bunch of stuff. So
Target will
Uh,
return soon to strong profits after tackling inventory woes.
yeah,
Sheesh.
there you go. Inventory. They're trying to get rid of all their inventory that they. I guess when the pandemic hit, you know how all the ships were backed up, so they got all this inventory from all the backlog, and they got all their inventory late. So now they're sitting on all this fucking stuff that no one wants to buy anymore.
That makes sense. So now they're just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Probably
they're just
they
trying to
probably
get
have
rid of it.
like hella clearance sales right now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go to Target. Is what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Target's pretty decent. I'm thinking of entering just these like 160 calls for next week to catch that one gap, but I'll already be in three full positions after that. So let's be on the lookout. Let's be on the lookout. XOM's still doing good here.
Well, Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart. Walmart has a similar setup. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not a full wedge, but it is breaking out of something, and we're probably gonna test that 130 20 SMA before we can go lower. Dance inside the gap before we end up filling it sometime later on. But it looks good. I mean, they're hella oversold. It's around. It's about time these stocks make a movement up. Hell yeah. Just to that
I
S.
like that. I like that target. It looks good.
Yeah, just to that SMA. I'm in that.
Yeah.
I'm in that, bro.
And if Dixie can pull back next week, that'll be good.
Yeah, I'm looking for that too on the daily. We get that gap down on the daily, it'll be perfect for the stocks to make that movement we need up, and then we can finally get Dixie to start to make those legs back up. Unless Dixie wants to full send it back down again. Sheesh. Then we'll have to enter sheesh territory.
Don't see that happening with the Fed. The Fed just said that they're going to continue raising.
Yeah, so this 30 SMA bounce here is going to be long-term bounces off of the 14 SMA. So we should be good. See, 14 SMA, 14 SMA, always at the bottom of this cup. So as soon as we fill that 30 SMA, it'll tag the 14 SMA on all the other
Call that a
big.
flat line, you said, right?
Usually I call them on a flat line here, but yeah, you can do flat lines here as well for it to come back down as a magnet that it needs to touch the bottom here before we end up backing up, back up. Because this is the same thing that happened with USD MXN. So daily gap, and then we have a glizzy above the gap. You know what I mean? Breaking inside the 14 SMA. As soon as we break that 103.97.80 area, it'll just flush us down to that 103. XLF looks like we're gonna make a move back up. You know, get some of this action right here. Go above 30 SMA before we end up going back down again. Yeah, see. So it'll move all the way back up to the 20 SMA. Dance a little bit before we fall back down. But yeah, bro, I'm pretty much done. I don't have a lot of trades for today. I'm just entering my trades for today. Since it is Friday, so most of the stuff's gonna kick off on Monday. See how all the trades are going off. Ooh, I don't like that little fish. I'm gonna take that fish. There we go. Market fish away. Like and subscribe. I didn't even see that. I also figured out how to get a discount code. So for those who tune in to the stream using code Fisher, just code Fisher FISHER, you can get $20 off of the first, or not the first, just $20 off of the access to the Telegram group. There's that.
Where's your donate tab?
It's on Twitch. So if on Twitch, if you go
Oh,
to
really?
yeah, if you go on Twitch and if you want to donate if you feel like donating, Twitch has a donate tab on there. There's also a link to my YouTube and a link to my Twitter, all on Twitch. It's on the bio.
Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you. Can you Give me a naked chart, right? And show me how you use these fibs.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah,
Let's bring
like
up something.
get rid of the moving
So
averages.
like this right here,
The
XLI has
less, the better stuff, so I can kind of see.
okay.
There you go.
Blind, naked. Okay, so XLI has set up here.
And what fib is this one called?
So this is the regular extension. I mean the regular Fibonacci extension. It's the one that I use the majority of the time. The retracement.
Okay,
The extension. I'll show you. I'll show you how that one's used. So
okay,
this is just a fib retracement to determine levels. I'll bring it from the high down to its low, its recent low. It's from a recent high, from recent low, and it'll place all of my fibs for me right here. So we can see how we respected this zone, we can see how we respected these zones, and we can see how these two zones were the initial breakdown. So we broke that 193.7 area, and that's where the flush begins. So here, above 89.39, which is this full gap, will give us these 91.66 areas. Above 91.66, or above 92.42, will be finally above these, and can confirm us the gap back to 93.70. So this is just how I use these as the fibs. I drag them from the high to the low, and then the fibs are actually my fibs. I have my own levels on them, but they draw themselves as I bring them down.
yeah. Okay, so
And
for
then
instance,
they also, sorry, they
what if it
also, go ahead, go ahead.
what if it rejected from where it's at and continues down? How do you what targets do you have available
Okay,
for
yeah. So
that?
yeah, like here,
Continue
like
down.
right here, there's nothing, right? Like that's what I mean.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
uh, this one mostly works for determining price now and for higher ranges. So if you see, like I only drew it from here to here, but it's already
yeah,
lining up this high and these highs here. So to tell
yeah,
me
yeah.
that we can go to those levels if we break out. The
So
extension, the
if you
extension
wanted to
tool.
buy that stock, those are your levels to your
Yes,
target up,
my targets for price to take profit.
continue up. Yeah,
And then the extension tool is for that exact reason. Like, how do I get the price down? So
yeah.
you would draw it from its high down to its recent low to its current high now,
Okay, okay, okay.
and you'll have all of these fibs that line up. I actually don't like this. So to get a
Really
better
don't use that.
to get no, I don't like that how I lined that up. So
Oh, okay.
to get a better view, so instead of using its high now of that one, since the extension tool is very big, you can use it from its a past recent event here, and you'll still get that down. So under 86.37 again will flush us back down to these lows, back to 83.96, and if we end up filling under 83.96, which will already be under these lows, we can go all the way back down to 79.59. One thing that I've learned from my teammates, from my mentor as well, is that he would do the fib extension or the fib retracement. I don't do this a lot, but he would do this, grab the retracement again, and then from the bottom up, he would draw it back pretty much inverse,
Yeah.
and you would get fibs here and here. So now you have fibs in every direction. But the reason I don't like it is because you get this, like where the fibs and the numbers don't line up. So you get like we can get 94, 496 or 9505. Like I don't like that. Like where the fibs intertwine like that. You can get them to where they're exact, but it's just a whole bunch of like lining it up perfectly. You know what I mean? And I guess that's what I don't like, just having to lining them up every single time to get them perfect
Yeah.
to see where I want to go. So I just bring up the extension when I need it. But for the most part, I use the retracement tool to see where we're going. And if we do break down and we get that more down, then I will bring the extension up to see where we're gonna go with the extension. Maybe I can get a better view out of a different one. I want to see something that's already rejecting, or the tool works best. But yeah, this is just how you would use it. Obviously, you have a big gap here. So if you wanted to get price within inside this gap to determine like the small ranges, you would grab it from this whole square right here. So from here to here, and then you have your Fibonacci retracement tool inside of your extension tool. You can use the tools however way works best for you. But this is how we use them. We draw them inside of the extension tool so that we can get the perfect alignment. So now we have points to go down and points to go up with, and in my eyes, it's the most perfectly aligned way that they can be. So we respected zones here, respected zones here, and respected zones on the key demand, which is here, which is the one that we keyly support here. It will bounce between this whole area. A break above 49.20 will give us that 509 area that we're looking for, and a break under 44.3 gives us 428, 413 again.
Um, but you have a call on this, right?
In Costco, yeah.
And
That
your
I'm
target,
I'm
your
already
what's
I'm
your
already betting it's gonna rip up to
yeah?
the
So
five ten.
what's your target until
Five.
like you'll take
Well,
profit?
I have 510 calls, so my 509.35 would most likely be my take profit zone because that would be
Okay.
the 2 day gap fill that we're looking for. I don't have the SMAs on, but if I turn them on,
And how much time did you buy on that?
they have a week because it's a 2 day chart. So I'm expecting it sometime next week to fill. So if
Learning.
turning on the SMAs, you can see that the 30 SMA is targeting that 509.35 area, and that's kind of like telling you that that's where we're gonna go. You know what I mean? Plus, if we fill the gap, throws this trade out the window. Has Exxon broke out of that? I don't think so. No, it did. I'm gonna have to close my Exxon position. Nope, nope, no, no, no. I'm not. Above 4 hour 20 SMA, I will close. Ah, you thought you tricked me, bro.
Tell me again. Why would you close that out?
If it breaks the 20 SMA, it won't respect it like it did here, and we're gonna get a gap fill back to 90, and my puts are gonna get pretty much burned. But above 20 SMA, I can close for a small loss because I know that it's gonna fill the gap, and then I can just be out and not have to worry about it. But this is just determining. Remember, I was telling you how the 20 SMA is kind of used to determine like a make or break. It was a make or break here. It didn't break, so it ended up getting this huge flush down. That's what I'm looking for here. If we do not get that, if we get a break above the 20 SMA, then we're gonna fill the gap, and those puts are gonna be pretty much shitty. That's why I have the alert right there, just in case I didn't like see it or anything. I'm gonna
Wouldn't
hear.
wouldn't it be better to isn't there like something called like the power hour or whatever the last hour of the
Yeah,
market?
power hour is pretty much the last hour of the market.
Yeah, so wouldn't it be better to wait to see how it closes?
You could do that. You could do that. But I entered them just now to be in the starter. I enter my starter positions now because we can get the flush in the middle of the day, and I'm gonna be mad if ExxonMobil ends up flushing and I have to buy it. I have to buy it as the cons are more expensive. So I like entering starters, and entering them when they're super cheap when Exxon is ripping at super highs in the morning. Like you, bro. I like to get in at sniper entries.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Try to get the cheapest fill.
Yeah, dude, there's so much to learn.
There is. It's
I
fun.
guess like on both sides, right? If
Yeah, yeah,
you're
but
trying to dab with the forex, I'm trying to jump in your world.
exactly. Um, but I'm glad I was able to pull off that USD trade. Maybe one day I'll do it for real. That was just a paper trade, but maybe one day I'll throw in some real money on it. And because I don't know how much that would have been if it was actual cash. You know what I mean? That was just off of a paper account with a hundred
Yeah,
thousand dollar paper account at that. So
yeah.
I don't know how much exactly I bought worth of USD MXN, but maybe one day I'll be able to figure all that out, and then I can trade it for euros because that was pretty.
You know, you could just download a MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5.
Well, I have a Wanda and I have a Wanda account, so
Uh,
but
it's
it gives
cool.
me an MT4 account too, so
Yeah,
I can just
you
use
can pay for
MT4.
trade off of that too and give you a
Mm-hmm.
better idea how much you're buying and all that stuff.
Okay, so I'll probably just download MT4 and then use the demo account on it.
MT5 is better because it's newer.
Okay, I'll use MT5 then.
Uh, yeah, use that one.
Damn, they got 5 platforms.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ! Just update the first one up until it's the best
I
looking.
know.
Nah,
The
we're coming out
MT4 is
with.
like from the 80s or something.
Oh damn!
No, I don't know if it's that old, but
Are we,
it
we're
looks hell old.
we're coming out with an MT6, guys.
No shit.
All right then. Well, I think I'll let you go so that you can go ahead and get to sleep, bro. I know that you're
All
tired.
right, cool.
But thanks for tuning in, bro. I already entered those
Yep,
trades. I'll go over the trades on Monday or Tuesday, depending on when we go live. But I'll go over them to
yep.
see how they went, or if I ended up closing them out or whatever. But just to see how they went.
All right. What about Saturday? You plan on doing a Saturday
Yeah,
thing?
yeah, we can hop on Saturday just to
Okay.
look at charts and stuff. So yeah, for
Yep.
sure. Sounds good then.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Bet bet.
Later, guys. Bye.